right, so yeah, so welcome everyone to tonight's market review session with us at EasyFX Academy. All right, we have this session every Sunday by 9 p.m. All right, and the reason why we have this session is very, very simple. We believe that just sometimes in the course of the week, you might just need, a general bias, right? So you may just need a general bias. So maybe you want to look for reasons to buy, reasons to sell. Right. One thing that we do at this call is to give you a general bias for the chart or for each commodity per week. All right, and then we give you key points to watch out for. All right, so those points you want to exactly keep in touch with. All right, and then you'll be able to, use that, the whole information from that to just trade during the week and make, some very good profits. All right, so that being said, today we're going to be starting a bit differently. All right, so if you have any commodities you want us to look at together, just drop them in the chat section. All right, right now, and we'll get to them. All right, but before then, before I take any of our requests, let's just go into what exactly I'm expecting from some of our guys this week, or some of the charts this week, right? So let's look at DXY, the dollar index. All right, so this gives you a relative idea of how the dollar is performing, if it is looking stronger or it is looking weaker. Right, so let me come to the 4-hour time frame for this. So for me, really, this week, I will be expecting the dollar to most likely go weaker. All right, to most likely go weaker. All right, assuming that this doesn't get broken. All right, even though this is counter trend to some extent, all right, I still believe that we should be able to get some level of bearishness from the US dollar during the course of this week. We saw that last week after the announcement for the elections, we saw that very, very huge spike, right, from the dollar, to pushing the dollar towards the upside. And I think to some extent, the market should try its best to correct itself. All right, so one thing I just want you to know is that every single time you see an impulsive move in the market, what follows is a level of correction. All right, that's why you have price usually trying to come back to fill imbalances or fair value gaps, right? So I'm expecting something similar, all right? So in case we've had this, very, very impulsive move towards the upside, we've already seen that the fair value gap left behind was filled partially, right? So I have every reason to then believe that we should see some level of correctional moves happening during the course of the week. Even though overall I'm bullish. All right, so let me just clarify that overall I'm bullish, but we might just get to something towards this end, during the course of the week. All right, so something like this. So this basically is what I am then expecting on DXY. So a level of bearishness at least till maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and then we can get to see, overall buy continuation on DXY. So that is clear for DXY. Don't worry, tonight is going to be quite short. All right, I promise. We're not going to be taking too much time on the commodities. We'll be going straight to the point on every one of them. So that basically is it for DXY. AXY, I expect something similar, all right, but for AXY, my bias is a bit different. I have here a buy to sell, all right. So, and the reason basically is simple, right? One thing I always talk about here is that I expect that price should move right towards a high or towards a low where liquidity can be swept from. So your job as a trader is to look out for the most probable point of liquidity to be swept from. So you have liquidity points, you can have your highs, you can have your lows, you can have your trend line. What is the most probable one for price to want to go and sweep, right? That's just the basic idea. And I think for me, this low here is that probable one for me. All right, so I want to basically see price still drop a lot more into that region to sweep that low. So overall, my bias for this week on AXY would be bearish. All right, so I hope that is clear. Also, let's look at CX, the Canadian dollar currency index. AXY is the Australian dollar currency index. So that just tells you, the relative strength basically of the Australian dollar. All right, so for Canadian dollar, I expect that the Canadian dollar should gain some level of strength this week. If you tend to notice, all right, sometimes you actually have in the chart, you actually get to see DXY and CXY be negatively correlated. All right, so sometimes you see that DXY is stronger and then CXY is weak. All right, but this week I am expecting that, even though like I said, I'm expecting an overall buy, all right, for DXY. I'm also seeing something similar to that rather on CXY. All right, so I expect that possibly we'll get that drop initially during the early days of the week, and then we get to see a buy. All right, overall time frame, from the overall perspective, we've seen price has been bearish. We've seen price sweep this low around here, and our price is currently using this low as a support. All right, that's the previous major low that we've seen, if not even its lowest. It's all-time low. I am not sure of that, but I believe that should be its all-time low, right? Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Definitely, that's not it. Basically, this is a very, very this is a low that's held for quite some time. This has been since 2022, right? I've not seen a break below that point yet, right? I do not believe that we should get to see that yet. All right. So basically, I was expecting some level of rejection, all right, or some level of push towards the upside on CXY during the course of this week. All right, and I want you to know that during the end of the year, all right, you have the fact that after elections like these and the end of the year, you see that volatility in the market starts changing, some funny moves, so to speak, start happening in the market. It's basically normal. It's normal, right? Don't be scared. Just do your best, all right, as a trader. Practice proper risk management and make sure that you're careful with your trades. All right. This is not a season where you want to be entering trades haphazardly. That's one thing I will tell you. This is not a season for you to enter trades haphazardly, right? You are not the market maker. All right. You have many other people that are moving more money than you are probably moving in the market, right? So you're not the market maker, but all the same, what you're trying to do is to follow the general trend of the charts, all right? And in this season, where you have the fact that, for example, BTC has got to an all-time high today, I think about $81,000, right? You've seen many cryptos, many cryptocurrencies flying high. You've seen forex market too, just everything just going up, down, and everything like that. You should really be cautious with your money. All right. Don't become liquidity for the market. Basically, be really cautious with your trades. All right. And one way to just be very safe in this season is that you should practice trading with the trend. All right. Any trade that you're seeing that is counter trend, by all means, do not take it with your full chest. And if you are taking it for any reason, let it be a very short scalp. Take it with the most minimum risk possible that you can take rather. That basically is it. So for JPY basket, I expect that we should get some weakness also, all right, from the Japanese yen during the course of this week. Very simply, we've seen this is a previous supply that has held up quite some time, right? We have one touch here, two touches here. All right, this is going to be a third or so touch, if at all it gets there. All right, if not, we might just get to see maybe the market token start deep from that end. But I think we can watch out for JPY basket to be bearish during the course of the week. All right, so all that is clear. Again, if you have any commodities you want us to look at together, just drop them in the chat box and we will attack them together. All right, link. Caleb, comment asking for the link. Give me a minute, please. Let me reply. Just give me a minute, please. I want to see if I can get the link to share to the person asking for it. All right, so I've replied him. So yeah, let's continue now. All right, so let's look at some commodities together. Let's start from gold. Everybody loves gold. All right, everybody basically loves gold. All right, so this is gold. For our time frame, our live training session on Thursday, was it? Yes, a session on Thursday. This was a sale that was given on Thursday. All right, unfortunately, this move has not been as spectacular as I was expecting. This is very slow. All right, but all the same, I still expect that we should see a drop. All right, my TP1 basically is already right around the corner here. All right, this will be my final TP here. All right, towards the end of this trade. But basically, I'm watching out for gold rather to drop during the course of the week. All right, so I want to see that drop. Sweep this low around 2,637.80, 2,637.80. Basically, I want to see that drop. All right, sweep this low, coming to here, then we get to see some level of buys. All right, but currently for this week, I still want to see this trade to be played out on gold. So I'm bearish currently for this week, at least for the beginning of this week on gold. All right, so that is clear. I don't think this is something I really need to touch too much on. This is quite straightforward, right? So that basically is my expectation for gold during the course of this week. Let's look at USD card also. Is it USD card? No, GBP And that USD card, I'm fighting with it. But let me just talk about it quickly. USD card, this is basically what I'm expecting. Right, this is basically what I'm expecting again. All right, but the reason why I'm not going to necessarily be taking this on, I'm very skeptical about it because I do not like current price movement on USD card. All right, the amount of price movement the last couple of weeks. Sorry about that. I think my internet is connected for a bit. So as I was saying earlier, the type of price movement I've been seeing on USD card for the last couple of weeks have not been exactly what I would enjoy. All right, so I've actually left the rails of USD cards for quite some time now. So I still want to see price push up again anyway into this zone before I get to see a sell. All right, so my supply zone, in case you might just be wanting to mark this out and also watch out for it, is between 1.39592 and 1.39402. All right, so that basically is my supply zone on USD card. All right, supposedly let's move on. Let's look at GBPUSD and the majors, right? So let's look at GBPUSD. I think I was expecting two buys. I was expecting some scalps on Thursday. I think one of them didn't get to play my weight. The other one just gave me like half of my mystery reward before close to half of more than half actually of my history was before I got whined by the markets, basically. But yeah, this week let's see. Let me move this, please. Excuse me, just give me a minute. All right, sorry about that. I think I just needed to take a sip of water. So, for Gbpusd, I think we might get this level of bullishness still on Gbpusd. This pivot region around here on the daily time frame are still held up quite well. This is between 1.28710 and 1.28011. It has held up quite well, and we've actually not seen price gather enough strength to break, below it. All right, but overall, I'm still looking out for some level of bullishness on GU. All right, but what I'm seeing right now is just what I do not necessarily like. Like I said, price action sometimes can be very, very annoying, and then you have to just be cautious. So these are current points of liquidity that I've marked out. All right, so you have this high here. All right, then you have these relatively equal highs around here also. All right, so what then should we be watching out for? Very, very simple. I believe that even though overall I'm watching out for bullishness, right? I think currently we're in a pivot. Yes. Currently we're in the pivot. All right, so I expect that price should give us that push towards the upside, and this should be the magnet to, or the current magnet that price will be using, right? Sweep this eye, then sweep these eyes from here too, and then we'll get to see, some level of bullishness, just a little bit anyway. So let me just draw that a little bit better, maybe something like this, that we're comfortable with anyway for now. All right, so something like this. So basically, this is what I'm watching out for on Gbpusd buy from where we are right now. Pivot zone, and push this down. I prefer using the full candle. All right, so my pivot region is between 1.28902 and 1.28693. Basically, that's the coordinates, right? So I'm watching out for prices to push up from where we are right now, rather on Gbpusd. So that is clear for GU. Quickly, let's look at another commodity. Let's look at GJ. I don't know if I took any trade on that. I didn't. But for GJ, very, very simply, I'm watching out for a buy very soon on GBP and Gbpjpy. All right, very, very straightforward trade, really. This will be my buy region, rather my buy zone, or my demand zone, between 196.177 and 195.976. 196.177 and 195.976 is my buy region or my buy zone on Gbpjpy. Very, very simple trade. This has become our engineered liquidity or our inducement, right? So I'm watching out. Price has already swept it anyway. So I'm watching out for prices still just drop a little bit, and then we get to see the completion of this one here for the buy, right? So sweeping these two lows, and then we get to see our buy. Quite simple, right? So it's not. It doesn't have to be difficult sometimes. You understand? So that's it for Gbpjpy. CAD CHF. This is one other guy that I really get to trade also. Not because he's a bad guy, because I like watching out for price action to some extent. And when I get to that, the price action that I'm seeing right now is not what I would prefer. All right, I sit out, all right, of the trade. So that's basically it. So let me give you this trade. Basically, this is a trade that I'm currently seeing. This is a possible long sell that I'm currently seeing on CAD CHF. And let me explain it before I give us the points or what you should do. All right, for this trade basically. So let me explain this to you. All right, so now this is a common pattern. All right, some people, it goes by many names. So people look at it as a QMR or QML pattern. Some look at it as a typical head and shoulder pattern, depending on however you are comfortable looking at it as. All right, this is what I am currently seeing on CAD CHF. So forgive my drawing, but so let me pull this down. Very good. So the reason why some people look at it as a head and shoulder pattern, because they believe that this is your left shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder, which is true. All right, so people look at it as a QML pattern, and there's also this. Let me see if I can draw that. Just give me a minute, please. So you'll have something like this, and then price. So this is also a pattern that a lot of people or a lot of traders work with. Not a lot, let me not say a lot, because not many people might know, but all these things, this is a pattern, a common pattern that traders work with. All right, and it's very, very simple. You have the fact that initially price created a shoulder or a left shoulder, right? You saw a sweep of that shoulder towards the upside. So you saw price give you a higher high, right, from that left shoulder, and then price came again to give you a lower low than the the neckline, so to speak, all right, which is here. So you saw price sweeping both the high and the low that came after the high. All right, so what usually you should then expect is that price should come towards this region here, all right, towards some region in of the left shoulder, and then push towards the upside for push towards the downside rather for itself. All right, so now that I've explained that to us, let's look at the charts again, and then you see the exact same thing is what we have currently on this guy. Yeah, just delete everything here. All right, so basically this. So you have this high swept, this low came after swept, right? So what we should then expect to be our price should have come towards this region. All right, so it should be around where the left shoulder is, around here. All right, and then we should get to see our sell from there, which is what basically we are currently seeing. All right, we're seeing a rally base drop, all right, basically in that region. So then again, I'm watching out for a continuation for the sell. So for those of us who might want to get in on this trade, all right, you can easily work with the break and retest of this low here. Right, this is around 0.62621, right? So you might just watch out for, you might just work with rather a break and retest of that low, right? So maybe something towards this end. Alternatively, based off of your own entry criteria, if you get to see any reason to enter for sales based off of your own entry criteria, right? You can just take up the sales, and I'm very sure you should be able to make some good money from that during the course of the week. Right, so it's taking a lot of time on can't see here, don't mind me. Let's quickly go to GBP card. I don't have too many commodities I want to share with us tonight. All right, basically after this, I only have one more. Mr. Maraki, we've done GBP USD. Did you get it, or we should go back? I think we've done GBP USD already, but if you did not get it, just tell me. Let's just go back and look at it again. All right, so for GBP card, I expect this basically on GBP card. I'm watching out for this drop currently from where we are on GBP card, right? So basically we're seeing price to respect this trend line. Now I'm already getting to see a chart pattern being formed. All right, a candlestick. Should I call this one a candlestick pattern now? All right, so something towards this end. I think it's referred to as a pennant. Sorry, let me draw it as well as I can. Yeah. All right. So basically, this is what I'm watching out for on GBP card. So price should just come a little bit here. All right. Overall, I'm watching out for that sell. All right, but let's see. I'm going out to the 1 hour time frame. I want to give us an exact zone to watch out for the sell from an exact zone. Very good. We can work with this for the meantime. Alternatively, I'll have preferred to use this low. All right, so I think I'll prefer to use this low around here. So my entry basically will be around from 1.79948, 1.79948. All right, and then you can just use this previous high as your stop loss if at all you're going to be taking this trade. All right, and then you can watch out for that proper sell off of GBP card. So that basically is my bias. My entry again is around here 1.79948. Your stop loss can just be based off of your discretion rather, just a little bit above this high here, right? And then your take profit can just be maybe somewhere around this low or this previous low that came before that, right? And then you can just work based off of that for your trade. All right, so that basically is what I'm expecting overall bearishness on GBP card. Let's look at GBP AUD also. All right, so 330, yeah, good. So let's look at GBP AUD also. So GBP AUD, I'm actually bearish on this guy. Also, overall, I'm still watching out for this buy from exactly this. So I think this was last week or so. Yeah, I think this was last week. I was watching out for a buy exactly from this overall price. Basically, just swept this low just a little bit and then got to buy from there. But basically, this week I'm still watching out for the possibility of us getting price to dip a little bit lower. All right, but this is what I'm going to be watching out for. This is what I'm going to be careful for rather. I'm seeing this here and mark it out. I feel like I'm on the 1 hour time frame, and that's why it was looking like this. All right, so let me go back to the 4 hour time frame. All right, so overall, I'm watching out. Yeah, this is a lot better. So yeah, I'm watching out for this sell. All right, from where we are currently on GBP AUD. All right, but basically, this is what I'm watching out for. We might get to see a buy from here. So let me push this here. Might get to see a buy from here. All right, it might not last as long. All right, but we might get to see a buy from here. So if you're taking this trade, you might just want to use this region here as a TP1. All right, and then close partials and then hold your trade to maybe around here for your TP2. So basically, my current supply zone is around 1.96416 and 1.96134. Right, then my TP1 will be around somewhere in the region of 1.95015 and 1.94821. All right, so that will be my TP1 region. All right, anywhere in that region will be my TP1, preferably on the upper boundary of that region. And then my TP2, all right, will be 1.94172, somewhere around 1.94172 and 1.93677. Let me give you exact coordinates. So you can use 1.94172 for your TP2. Your TP1 can be 1.95015, basically. All right, but For me, if I get the price come inside here again, then definitely I'm watching out for buys, but not long buys anyway, just enough to give us some soft vibes, basically, some soft vibes. So that basically is what I'm watching out for on Gbpjpy for this week. All right, and last but not the least, from my end for this night. Oh, I've not done USD, so we'll look at that too. All right, I'll tell you this will be my last, but let's see. All right, so for USDCHF, I'm watching out for a buy, basically, and the criteria for the buy, however, is what is important. So definitely, I'm watching out for prices still give us a little bit of a drop into here. Sorry about that. My buy region or my demand zone is between 0.87382 and 0.87333, 0.87382 and 0.87333. Right, so that's my buy region and my demand zone. But basically, what I want to watch out for is for price to come inside here, and then I get to see a suitable candlestick formation telling me that, oh, we are ready for the buy, and then I'll be able to eat that buy with all I have, basically. So I'm watching out for this, basically. I'm watching out for a buy during the course of this week on USDCHF. So it's sell to buy, sell into the zone, buy from there. Quite simple, right? So that basically is what I'm watching out for on USDCHF. All right. Alternatively, I want you to watch out for this. This is a low that can be swept. All right, but I am very, very skeptical about that happening. I'm very, very skeptical about that happening. If at all for any reason I get to see price, reach here, reach somewhere around here. All right. Then if at all I get to see price come as low as this, right, then definitely I'll just watch out for a retest from inside this region. Now, let me just clarify this, because I believe that a lot of people do not understand what I mean when I say I'm watching out for a retest. So let me explain it like this. If I'm watching out for, a break of a zone, for example, if I have a demand zone marked out on the 4-hour time frame or the 2-hour time frame, let me explain that a little bit better. So if, for example, I'm on the 4-hour time frame and I have this zone marked out, and this is currently the price action I am seeing. And initially, I was expecting price to sell from here. Now, like I usually say, apart from the fact that you have your demand zone or your supply zone marked out, what you should then watch out for should be a reason for price to work from there. So even if you have marked out your zones, all right, also always watch out for confirmations. And how do you watch out for confirmation? Basically, you're watching out for what the candles are telling you when they get there, right? So if, for example, you get to see that when price gets into that zone, around that point you have seen maybe a convergence or a divergence, using your stochastics or whatever, mean reversion indicator you're using, or maybe you're looking at your candlestick formation, maybe I've seen a very good rejection candle and a golfing candle pattern being formed, whatever it is, right? Then that gives you more of a shorty of that zone being held, right? As opposed to you just saying, oh, I've marked out this zone because I've seen this, so price should get it and then should sell. Does that work? Yes. Is that the best way? Not necessarily, right? So work with everything you have in your arsenal to, work to choose your zones, right? So after you have your zones marked out. So you have your entry points, right? Then you have your entry criteria. Why am I going to be entering for this trade from here? What am I saying currently that's telling me that, oh, this place should work out or this place should hold? That's what I mean, basically. Right, so as I was trying to explain earlier, and what I mean by break and retest is very simple. What I do when I'm looking out for a break and retest is this. If, for example, I marked this out on the 4-hour time frame, and this was my initial expectation for price to sell from here. If for any reason I get to that when price comes inside here, the reactions I'm getting are not so convenient, what I watch out for is something towards this end. That's what I mean by break and retest. And then I go in the opposite direction of what I was expecting initially. Now, the reason why this is important, all right, is very simple. If at all you're able to practice this and you're able to get your break and retest easily, you should not at any point, all right, be stuck on a losing trade. That's just what it means. All right. For the way I trade, I'm a very conservative trader, so I don't necessarily just mark up zones and then set pending orders and then just forget it there. So if I set a pending order and I get to that when price gets there and I'm not liking the reaction, I'll be very, very cautious. All right. And then when I get something like this, a break and retest, I basically, let me just say this, for my break and retest, what I usually do, I look out for the break on the higher time frame, for the retest on the lower time frames. So if, for example, this was in the zone I marked out on 1 hour on the 2-hour time frame, I'm watching out for that retest on maybe the 5 minutes or the 15 minutes time frame. So if I get to see that the price comes into that zone on the 15 minutes time frame or the 5-minute time frame, and I get to see a strong enough rejection towards the upside, by all means, I go knock down 500 lot size. Do you understand that? All right. So I'm just saying this because I want us to be able to, work based off of this and be able to understand how exactly I think, especially when I get to see break and retest. So all that is clear. All right. Let me delete this now. Let's go further. Right. I just saw Euro AED So let's look at Euro but before that, let's quickly look at Euro USD. So I think we can watch out for something similar to what I just said for Gbpjpy, for a buy also of this guy. Interesting support here. Price hasn't come towards that region yet. I'm trying to just mark out interesting key points rather. No, this is not going to work. Okay. Let's see you. Okay, so yeah, I think we should watch out for buys currently. If at all price, if at all by the end of Friday I got to see that price closed, below here, then definitely I'll be more inclined towards the sell. But seeing that we had a little bit of a rejection before price even got towards this region, and then I'm getting to see some level of sluggishness to push price towards the upside, makes me believe that we should get to see some level of bullishness off of Eurusd during the course of the week. So I think, based on just my interpretation of what the candlesticks are currently telling me, this will be my current bias, just for a little bit of a buy, during the course of the week. And then again, one thing I'm always cautious of, especially of recent, now that I've seen that we're towards the end of the year, is the fact that you might get to see a lot of gaps when market opens. You will notice last week there was a massive gap in the market open, very, very massive gap. So let's just watch out for something similar to that. Then you can see that we're also in a pivot region, on the line chart. So let's just watch out for this, basically for a buy on EU. So your direction can just be for buys, but your entries will be based off of whatever entry criteria you use. Let me see if I can get something for us. Not necessarily right now. Maybe by Thursday we should get to see price will have progress, and we can look for something more interesting for us to use. But for now, I think I'm just going to be watching for a good enough entry for the buy on EU. All right, so this is Euro AUD. Euro AUD. Oh, interesting. I marked this out, and apparently it played with my emotions, and then let's give some level of base. All right, you do well. 1-0. All right, but this is it. So let's look at this. It's very likely that we may see some sales very soon. From what I'm seeing currently on EA, but let me not assume. Let's go down to the chart time. I'm seeing it very yes. So talk with this. As from there, almost up. It has actually, since we use the candles. So let me fill this up. Then fill this up. Very good. So this is what I'm watching out for currently on EA. Yeah, UAD. So I was just seeing a sell from where we are right now, actually, on UAD. It's just that the current reactions that we've seen there. Oh, very good. I've seen a doji candle inside there. All right. So if I had 2 doji candles followed by a bearish candle, so I think that's for me. It gives me a little bit more of a shorty for that sell or that push towards the downside on UAD for the sell. Right, so I think I'm going to be bearish during the course of the week on Euro AUD. Let me see something from the daily time frame, please. Interesting, very interesting. I can delete you. You've tried. All right, so so the initial big of structure was the downside. Price came. The banana big of structure around here. It was the upside. Price hasn't broken above this eye. So yeah, I think I can watch out for some level of bearishness on Euro AUD. Basically, what I just had to do right now was to check the daily time frame to confirm. All right, so that basically is what I'm watching out for, some level of bearishness on UAD during the course of the week. So I'm bearish for the course of this week on EA. I hope that is clear. I think that was disciplined trader. Yes, disciplined trader. I hope that was clear. All right, for UAD. All right, so since there are no more, are there any other commodities? I do not believe so. All right, so, since we do not have any other commodities to look at together, we can bring this session to an end. Thank you very, very much for joining us for tonight's market review session. I believe that this week is going to be a profitable week. As always, I believe that every week should be profitable. So, as I said earlier, we are in very, very particular seasons, in the forex markets right now. And I want to be very, very careful. All right, protect your capital at all costs. Protect your trading capital at all costs. Don't just enter a trade anyhow. Make sure you have used all the possible tools in your arsenal to analyze. Make sure that you are prepared for what exactly might happen. All right, and then practice proper risk management. And I'm very sure we will come out of this season victorious. All right, it's not fight, but let's just practice proper risk management, right? So thank you very much for joining us for tonight's market review session. This is the FX Academy again, and have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye, guys.